A very happy morning to all of you children. Hope you all are doing good. Welcome to the science class children. Today we will continue with the chapter 7, that's the cell. In the previous class we did define cell. We also discussed about the discovery of the cell and organization of the cells in organisms. We have studied about the variety of cell number, their shape and size. In previous video, we have started with the topic of the cell structure children. If you all remember, the basic structure of cell consists of cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Yes, so we have talked about the cell membrane in the previous video. In today's class, we will be talking or we will be discussing regarding cytoplasm and nucleus. If you all remember, cytoplasm and nucleus, they both together are called as by one word. What is that word? That is protoplasm. Okay, so that's the living part of the cell. We will start with the cytoplasm today. So cytoplasm, if you all just see the cell, the cytoplasm is actually the jelly-like fluid which occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Within the cytoplasm, tiny components or specialized structures are present. They are called as cell organelles which are present within the cytoplasm. Some of the examples of these cell organelles are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, and endoplasmic reticulum. These are specialized structure present within the cell in the cytoplasm. All the chemical reactions and functions of life takes place in the cytoplasm children. So cytoplasm is a very important part of the cell. The next topic that we have is the nucleus, right? So where does the nucleus lies in the plant cell? In the Zoom class we have discussed, yes. So nucleus in the plant cells lies in the peripheral region, whereas in the animal cells it is in the center, right? Now what is actually nucleus? We all know by the name that there is a part of the cell called as nucleus, right? So nucleus is a membrane bound structure, spherical structure, present in the center of the cell mostly and is surrounded by the cytoplasm. Children, nucleus is also called as the control center of the cell. Do you all know that who has discovered actually nucleus? Nucleus was discovered by an English biologist called Robert Brown in 1831. Generally, there is only one nucleus present in a cell, but in some exception cases, more than one nucleus may be present. As in last Zoom class, I have shown you animal cell and plant cell. How many nucleus were present in each cell? There was one nucleus present in each cell, right? However, there are some cases where more than one nucleus may be present in the cell. For example, the muscle cells. They contain more than one nucleus in each cell, children. So that's about the introductory part of nucleus. Now talking about the structure of the nucleus. Nucleus basically consists of four important parts. That is nuclear membrane, nuclear sap, which is also called as nucleoplasm. Then the third one is nucleolus and chromosomes are the fourth one. These are the four important parts of the nucleus. We will go ahead and study them one by one. Now this is the diagram, magnified diagram of the nucleus, children. Here you can see the nuclear membrane. Then you have nuclear pores present. You have nucleolus present here. And there is, in place of chromosomes, there is chromatin thread. Yeah. So that is about the figure of nucleus. Now starting with the nuclear membrane, it is a thin porous membrane. What do we understand by porous membrane? By porous, we mean to say that membrane has small holes present on it. Yes, so nuclear membrane is the thin membrane that separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. It is thus the outermost covering layer of the nucleus. जैसे cell membrane was the outer covering of the cell, similarly nuclear membrane is the outer covering of the nucleus. And as being porous, it allows the movement of the materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So that's about the nuclear membrane. Followed by the nuclear membrane is the nuclear sap or nucleoplasm, which is actually the jelly-like fluid present inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there is a small spherical body, as you can see in the figure, called as the nucleolus. Children, nucleolus is responsible to produce one of the cell organelle called as ribosomes. Ribosomes play a very important role in production of the or in the synthesis of the proteins. So for this reason, nucleolus is also called as factory of ribosomes. After nucleolus, we have thread-like structures called as chromosomes. Here you can see the chromatin thread-like structure which get condensed and forms the chromosomes. So, thread-like structures present in the nucleus are called as chromosomes. Now, what are actually chromosomes made up of? Chromosomes are actually made up of DNA, children, and proteins. DNA we all know is the heredity material, right? So chromosomes carry a number of genes. The chromosomes and the genes help in the inheritance of the characters from the parents to their children. As we all know that chromosomes are made up of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. So it carries the information from the parents to the younger one or to the newborn baby. Inheritance is basically to be born with the same physical or mental characteristics as similar to your parents or grandparents. For example, color of the hairs, eyes, etc. These are some of the characteristics that we inherit from our parents. हम कभी कभी कहते हैं ना कि हमारी eyes father को resemble करती हैं या हमारे hairs they look like my mother's hair. Yeah, so that is basically inheritance. So nucleus is involved in this. So the functions, when we talk about the functions of the nucleus helps in the inheritance of the characters from parents to the children, and it also acts as the control center for all the activities that are taking place within the cell. So nucleus is also called as the brain of the cell. It is also called as the control center of the cell, children. Alright, so that was about the nucleus. We have studied about the basic introduction of the nucleus, the parts of the nucleus, and functions of the nucleus. Yes, now we will move on to the cell organelles. Where are the cell organelles present? The cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains a number of small structures which are called as cell organelles, and they have some specific functions to perform for the cell. And as I gave you some examples of the cell organelles, that is mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body or Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, vacuoles, ribosomes, plastids. These are some of the examples of the cell organelles. Yeah, so we will go ahead and study in short, we will go ahead and study the functions of these cell organelles which are present within the cell. So now we will move on with the different functions of the cell organelles, starting with the mitochondria. Mitochondria in the singular form is also called as mitochondrion. Yes, and mitochondria, children, is called as the powerhouse of the cell. That's because mitochondria is responsible for the production of energy through respiration. It supplies the cells with the energy. The next cell organelle that we have is Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies are responsible for secretion of many materials that are required by the cell. After Golgi bodies, we have lysosomes. Lysosomes are actually sac-like structure which are filled with digestive enzymes. And lysosomes are found only in animal cells. They are absent in plant cells. Yeah. So these digestive enzymes are basically responsible to help in the digestion that is produced within the cell as waste. They help in digesting excess or worn out organelles, and in case if a foreign particle enters into a cell like a bacteria, it eats up these enzymes, eats up those foreign particles. So it basically helps to clean the cell. Yeah. Then followed by lysosome is the vacuole. If you all remember, in the Zoom class we have seen that in the plant cell there is a large vacuole present in the center. Now vacuole consists of water, useful materials, pigments, yeah, and it is basically a non-living part of the cell as it does not consist of the cytoplasm. So the main function of the vacuole is to store excess water, useful materials, pigments and waste products. Then the next organelle which we have is ribosome. Ribosome कहाँ पे produce होते हैं? Ribosomes are produced in the nucleolus, which is a part of the nucleus, right? So ribosomes are produced in the nucleolus, and the main function of ribosomes is to synthesize proteins for the cell. And then the next cell organelle which we have is plastids, children. Plastids are only found in plant cells. The reason they are found only in plant cells because the main function that they have is to store pigments and food for the plants. And it is a hollow sac-like structure followed by or surrounded by a double membrane structure. One of the unique feature plastids have is that they have their own DNA. Now plastids are of three types, children. That is chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chloroplast are the green plastids that contain chlorophyll. What is the use of the chlorophyll? Chlorophyll helps in a very important process for the plants, which is photosynthesis, and photosynthesis helps in the preparation of food for the plants, right? So chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, which is necessary for photosynthesis. Then we have leucoplast. Leucoplasts actually don't contain any kind of pigment, but they are used for the storage of the food like starch. Then the last type of plastid is the chromoplast. Chromoplasts contain pigments other than chlorophyll. Yes, we do see the different colors of the petals of the flowers. Yeah, and fruits have different colors. That is because of the chromoplast, which is a type of a plastid, children. So there are three types of plastids, that is chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. And all of these three have different functions to perform. And the last cell organelle that we have is endoplasmic reticulum, that is responsible for synthesis, storage and transport of the materials within the cell. So that's about the different functions of different cell organelles within the cell. So children, in today's class, we have studied about the different cell organelles, also the protoplasm part consisting of nucleus and the cytoplasm we have covered on. Along with the video, we are also sending you the PDF for the question answers. You can make a note of those question answers in your classwork notebooks. And for your better understanding, along with the video, there are YouTube links. You can watch them whenever you have good time. Yes, so I hope you all enjoy learning and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.